Hey, riders. Yes, Saturday morning, inside cycling world, your commentator, Colin here. Uh, you know me, I love to look around for new things to find on Rouvy. Hey, in the start shoot right now, big shout out, Keith Oldgit. He's right there in his Christmas jersey still. I love it, Keith. Good to see you here. So, found this one this morning, folks. Today's kind of a gong show for me. First thing, happy birthday to Colin. Yep, today's my birthday. Whip-de-doo. Uh, what am I doing? I'm covering some bike racing. I've been flying around like a madman. I am actually flying out to Vegas like super early tomorrow morning. Way too early. I think we got to leave the house by about 4:30. Drive to the airport. It's an hour away to get there for, your 2.5. They always say 3 hours. I don't listen to that. We're starting right away, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We are doing the Taupo course, North Island, New Zealand. I think this is an Ironman course. In fact, the race was described as I am Taupo. And there's a few different courses to this one as well. So this is the 40 kilometer. And I mean, 0 hills to deal with. I mean, you could see on course that one little smidge of orange. Maybe two. Okay, maybe we can give it 2, maybe 3 slight tinges of orange. This is going to be an interesting one because, one, there's a lot of people here registered for this one that are from the good old Czech Republic. Good to see everyone here from Czech Republic. And I assume that this is the national jersey, or the Czech Republic jersey here. I'm looking at Pavel Fulton. So what's going to be interesting about this is that there's going to be a lot of names I won't know how to say. So I'll try my best. This is how we do it. Look at this. Keith right out front here. Keith is an ultra lightweight climber. Like I'm talking, yeah, he's a lightweight climber. And it shows when he's riding. I wonder how this is going to do for him today because this is going to favor the big watt people. Probably this is probably more of like the 90 kilogram rider type course. So we got Plemanik here. I've seen Plemanik before. I struggled with that name in the past. We got Pavel here. We got Heinrich S coming to the front. I can see this kind of course being, the 300 watt riders just powering along. Hopefully everyone's on the right bike here. I mean, to me, this would be, a Cervelo S5 bike course for sure. After that, Giant Propel and Trek Madone, probably. Something like that. No TT bikes allowed, it looks like. I know sometimes the rules change. Sometimes I've seen rides. I guess that's a group ride. You'll have your TT bike. But let's just pan back here. I think I saw 57 people registered. And so we're going to fly to the back. It looks like 56 are registered, and we got 55 starters. And of course, we're probably going to lose, let's say, 10% to people stepping away, people deciding this is not for them. I mean, we've got a rider here parked already. This rider is still connected. They're just not doing anything right now. This rider might be disconnected. Yeah, look, it's NA up here on the top. But let's just say we got 50-something. 50-something, I think, is pretty reasonable. And I had a quick peek this morning. I did see a few names I recognized. So let's get to the front. And let's kind of work our way back. So yeah, I definitely know Keith. Know Keith quite well. He's an active member in the Muckers Worldwide Race Series. Tonda. Now, I know I've seen Tonda before. You know what? I'm going to say here right now, I think Tonda has actually been in a GRC event, a Team GRC Sunday short race. Every Sunday, folks, we pick out a ride that's, relatively short. In fact, for tomorrow, it's one of the Greek challenges. There's the easy ones. There's 3 rides there. And then there's the medium ones. There's 3 there as well. So we picked basically the flattest one we could find. So, it's not as short as some of the others, but it won't take that long. I imagine people are going to be finishing like in half an hour at most. It's a 20-kilometer course with, I think it's less than 100 meters of climbing. It's something ridiculous like that. So it's going to be for the all-out speed merchants, watt monsters, aero kings, whatever you want to call them, right? The flatland riders who can just hammer huge power I think the climbers are going to suffer a little bit. That's not to say the climbers can't hang on. There's some really incredible riders who are climbers. What they need to do is get into the draft situations. That's what they got to do. So let's just work our way back here. So like I said, we got Heinrich S., Keith Oldgit, and Plemanik. I've seen these names before. Tonda, positive, has been in some GRC events. Pavel, we're just going to bounce back every few riders maybe. Carell, David here. Let's actually have a quick look at the map, see how we're spreading out. Yeah, I imagine these gaps are going to open up quickly as people settle into their speeds. And I mean, this is high speed. Whoever I'm on here, I'm on David FT91. We're cruising at over 40 kilometers an hour right now. So just a nice flat course. Whittle, whatever your name is, Ricky B. There's a nice little group here. Ricky B, Dirk Driesen, Roman Corner, and Jindrat. So we've got these 4 here all together. Yeah, and the Whitley rider is just ahead. So actually we got 5 riders here. Let's throw Peter Kriziak in as well. Peter, I'm going to anglicize it. It's Peter to me. Let's just leave it at that. Jindra here, Dirk Driesen. We got Peter again. BH16. Oof, this is our one. Okay, I've seen this name too. I think I saw this rider, and you know, if you ever see this video, please leave me a comment. I don't know how I remember this stuff, but I'm positive this rider here, who I called Tretiak at the time. I know it's probably a horrible pronunciation. You probably know who I'm referring to. When I say Tretiak, there's only one person I think of, and that was the USSR Soviet goaltender from the 80s. Tretiak. He was so, he was like an icon. He was so mysterious. So when I saw your name at first, that's the first thing I could kind of blather out of my mouth. But yeah, I'm positive I saw T here. Let's just say T for now because I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. At the Amstel Gold Race a couple of Mondays back. I'm positive about that. I'll have to go back and look at that video. If anyone remembers, throw a comment in down below. Let's see how good my memory is. Philippe Slobodinski. Maybe that. Okay, we'll try that out. Razor Bikes. Seen this rider too. Participates a lot in the Muckers events. Great to see you here. Going back, we've got Gerald Kammerhuber. I like that. Kammerhuber. You can really get a nice ring out of that one, I think. We've got Christoph Dudek. Christoph Dudkowitz. Dudkowitz? How about that? Christoph, I hope I'm doing your name some justice there. Dudkowitz. Looks like it's like a Bartholomew maybe. Jay Ennis. That name rings a bell too. We got Cycling Dad here. Hey, I'm a Cycling Dad too. Yeah, so Cycling Dad's here, hanging in 30th place. Tricate. Slowly working our way back here. Procyon seems like a familiar name to me as well. Lot of riders here. Road to Kona. Let's hear more about that. Road to Kona. Road to Kona. If you ever see this, drop a comment. We talking Ironman? What are you doing? I'd love to get some background on this. I love meeting people on here, finding out people's backgrounds, and I love the neat names. Like, check out this out. Kako. Kako. Just how I want to say it. We got Kako here cruising with looks like a Sylvester to me. Looks like maybe a Czech version of Sylvester. Again, I apologize if I'm screwing up your nationalities. Just trying my best here. Hillbilly Hank, yes. A good old US of A Hillbilly Hank here. We got McGill with the CZ, so I'm assuming Czech again. GTKR. Silwo. So I'm going to say, yeah, this is probably another Czech rider. This Woe is going to be short for a last name that probably has like 15 letters in it. I'm just guessing. Jurka. Not Jurka, sorry. Jurka. I think whenever you see these names, the J is a Y. Please correct me. Jurka. I like it. We got Carlos Heel. Just going to fly back. Mato here. This is Q for today. This is just Q. There's no way I can say that word. Hamatia. Petit Puni. Little. Merida, 1981. Okay. Cycling Cigarist. Okay, there. Now we're getting it. Century 21. Potential realtor here. Century 21, huge company around the world. Did another little truth here. I'm actually a licensed realtor. Believe it or not, I work for Remax right now. And when I say work for, I mean do nothing because it's the wintertime here in Canada and virtually nothing sells during the winter. People are getting really geared up around where I live, Calgary, for like a crazy market in the spring. There's a lot of people, and the markets in Canada are Toronto, probably Montreal as well, and Vancouver are so overpriced now. Like every house is $1 million, and I'm talking like for junk. You can pay $1 million for junk in Vancouver. It's just the location. You're in a beautiful city by the ocean with the mountains in the background, mild winters. If you want to know how nice Vancouver is, just go online and look up top 5 cities to live in the world. And every year Vancouver's there. Usually there's a bunch of Swiss. I might have said countries there. I meant cities. Mine's racing. Usually there's a bunch of Swiss cities and usually some ones like in Sweden, maybe somewhere up there. Vancouver's always up there. So they've got expensive real estate. So a lot of people now can't afford to live there anymore. There's new generations of people coming up finding that houses there are $1.5, $2 million for like just a kind of a starter home. So long story short, Century 21 here, as you probably know this, but this gives me some good stuff to talk about. They're expecting a massive boom in Calgary again. Not oil related, real estate related, because I think on average here right now our prices are like in the $550,000 for a home. So you sell your house in Toronto for $2 million. You buy another really nice house here for $750,000. You throw all the rest of the money in the bank. Hey, why not? Okay, let's get back to the front. Check this out. Keith representing Team Old Git. I wonder if Keith's the only one here today. I think he was a late entry because I checked this morning. So what I usually do for my races, folks, is I'll have a look the night before, see what's looking popular. And this race is the only one that really, really stood out to me today. I think last night when I looked, there were 17. So I'm keeping an eye on it. And, you know, with us heading to Vegas tomorrow morning, I had a bunch of recycling to do, a bunch of stuff around the house. So I had to race out of the house, drive to the recycle depot, drop all the cardboard off, get all the way back here, do my chores, jump back on, and then we got like 55 people, 56 people registered. So, you know, numbers attracts numbers, right? So people tend to jump into these ones. So it looks like the front, we've got Keith and Pavel are working nice together here. Keith, you know, I was going to say here, Pavel's a 67 and Keith's a 43. It feels like I've known Keith forever already, and he should be a higher level. What I do know, though, is that I think most of the old Gits, that's where they probably all know each other. They're all ex-RGT riders when RGT folded. So I think they found a good home here. And they're super active on Rouvy. Like, I see these riders all the time. In fact, I did want to point something out here. I think it's next Friday, which, Keith, if you listen to this, look at Keith digging up these hills. This is what Keith's really good at. Like, Keith's probably, I think, 61, 62 kilograms. Probably been a nice, skinny, svelte guy all his life. He's really good at hitting these hills and getting these little gaps. You can see behind, Pavel and Peter are struggling here a little bit to keep the gap. Let's just bounce back here and have a little quick look at this. Okay, it's pretty close. Looks like Pavel's actually fighting his way back now. He's got some draft. We're on a little bit of a false flatty here. But yeah, folks, before I forget, okay, so what Keith's gone and done, he's got a little series starting, and everyone should try to support it if they can. I definitely will. However, I think this might be the first week of it coming up, and if it's not, just ignore me. When I come back from Vegas this week, we don't fly out till like 8 o'clock Thursday night. With time change and like 3 hours of travel, I think technically we don't land till like 12:40 in the morning. Friday morning, you know, walk to the thing, go through customs, get your luggage. I imagine at that point everything is going to be just like smooth sailing. How many people are going to be landing at 12:30 at night? So Sometimes our international terminal in Calgary is just horrendous. Like you'll wait like an hour for your luggage, and it's just like you just want to get home. I mean, and this is probably every airport in the world. Peter coming back to the front here with Keith. Hopefully they'll all work together. Peter is a level 43. Keith is a level 43. Keith is definitely on the right bike here. Looks like Keith is... Keith, are you on a Cervelo? Sure looks like it from here. I'm having trouble seeing the handlebars, though. That is a 50,000 gold coin. Bike, though. We'll see soon. So, yeah, by the time I get home out of the airport, let's just say we land at 12:40. We're out by 1:30. Like, I think that's best case scenario. Then I still have an hour drive home. Then it's 2:30 in the morning. The dogs are going to go ballistic. We have 4 dogs in the house. I probably won't go to sleep till like 3 a.m., which is my usual, I usually wake up at 4 a.m. So maybe I'll just stay awake, have a nap later. We'll see. But anyways, why am I rambling on so long? I guess this is the way it is, right? Fridays, Keith's got an event put on, and I think this week coming up, they start with a Tourmalet downhill, just to kind of like loosen the legs up. It's a good way to get coins too, folks. You can just light pedal and get your coins, get your ride in. And then the next ride, Keith, I apologize, I can't remember the ride. I think it's about a 30-kilometer ride, and it's a chill ride. I think Keith even said it's a 2 watt per kilogram ride, kind of a social ride, until you see the banner or the flag or whatever it may be. I think basically at 2 kilometers out, it's full gas. So everyone rides chill, and I really like this concept. So, and everyone knows that in advance, because, it gives you a chance to work on some speed, some power, but also get a nice ride in. And if it's known in advance, then it doesn't seem like someone's, just trying to smash you to pieces. We all know going in. In the past, when I used to ride a lot with friends, I would do my ride, and I'd always want to do a sprint at the end. It could be up a hill. It could be riding up the Stelvio, and at the end I'd want to sprint it. Just even if it's just a 3-4 seconds of max power. But it's just not the coolest thing to do with the buddies you're riding with. But if it's known in advance, hey, 2K out, anything goes, I think that's really neat. So everyone should support Keith's rides. Hope I can do my part there to get some numbers over there. And Keith, when I can make it, I will. But this Friday, I don't think I'll be doing any riding. Maybe it'll be a workout or recovery workout. Keith pushing to the front here, looking really sharp. Let's have a little map view so you can see how the race is breaking out. We got 3 riders at the front. I'm just going to say Petter. Maybe Petter's better. I think that sounds like the cool way to say it. Pavel and Keith all riding together. And Keith's doing incredible here because I thought this would not be the course for him. But he's not just a climber, obviously. Bouncing back 300 plus meters. We actually 380 meters. We got Heinrich, Vasco Bruno, and Beppe. Beppe 22. So we got 3 riders here all working together. Beppe looks like a lightweight. Heinrich, not really very heavy either. And Vasco, not a heavy rider either. So I'm just looking at the watts per kilo on that. So if I'm riding 3 watts per kilo, I'm out past 270. And I was tempted to do this ride today, but with family coming over, things like that, and a lot of running around, I thought I'd just do my own ride later. We're going to just back up a little bit more. Another 300 meters back, we got Carroll, Plamanik, and Tonda. And if this is the Tonda, I think it is. Good rider, strong rider. I've seen some really good results out of them. So we've got, right now we've got, looks like 3 groups of 3 traveling. Backing up another 200 meters, and guess what? We got another group of 3 again. We have Widley, Biker Millie, and who's not Roman, Laurent. Sorry, Laurent Vignon, one of my favorite cyclists of all time. It's a shame he had to die so young, but I think it was cancer that got him. Just kind of always an enigma, that guy. His ponytail and his little professor glasses, right? Okay, so anyways, getting back to this. Look at Keith at the front here, pushing hard. He's got 2 really good teammates for the moment. Okay, we're going to leave these three alone for now. They're doing a great job up front. We're just going to jump to the back of it. We've got Giant Rider 54 here. And so, yeah, more people have jumped into the race, probably late. Because we had 56 before. I see some stoppages on the side of the road here. Giant Rider's pretty far back. Probably started late. It's chugging away down these roads. Looks like David broke down ahead of him there. Might have just stepped away, said, yeah, I'm not into this flat racing stuff. This kind of stuff can be really hard because with it being so flat, you're going to be it's high speed spinning at these speeds. In fact, let's just go back to the front. I mean, look at these guys, 52k an hour. We are going downhill, but average speeds are going to be over 40k an hour. Pavel's really hammering it here. Keith coming up just over his right shoulder. But yeah, let's just jump to the back. This is how we do it around here. So we got Giant Rider 54 at the back. We're going to move up to Susel 23. What ladies rider here? Bartholomew pulled the pin on the day. Cycling Cigarist, just trucking right along. Marita, Century 21. Hey, Century 21. If you see the video, I need a real estate update from you because I'm a little bit worried out here. The market's going to go nuts. Limited inventory. Prices are going to go sky high. It's going to be just a dogfight for anything. So I'm kind of like, I need to do something different this year because I don't know if I want to be involved in it. Century 21 coming up on cue here. I'm chasing after Hamatia. Hamatia is not that far back from Mato. Here's Jurka. Jurka's traveling with McGill, who I believe is a Czech rider just from the CZ. We got Carlos Heel ahead, cruising along with Petit. Road to Kona again. I'd love to hear some backstory. Myself, not a triathlete. I think I mentioned in a video in the past, when I was way younger, I had these wild fantasies of becoming a pro triathlete. Dave Scott. Who's the next one? I don't want to say Molina. I want to say the other guy, Dave Scott. Was his name Tim Allen, maybe? Is that the right name? That sounds crazy. Scott Allen. Yeah, it's kind of a first last name, sound the same like a first name type name, but it's the guy that, well, so does Dave Scott. What's with that, right? So anyway, Road to Kona. If you see the video, drop some comments below or send me a private message and love to chat about it with you. We got Jay Ennis with GTKR just ahead. Sylvester riding solo right now, but I'm sure some groups will form back up here. Just going to bounce out with SMS. Oh, SMS just shut her down. Full disconnect here. Looks like a ladies rider. Cycling Dad. Zizou. Zirko is riding with a bunch of riders here. This looks good. We've got Trikate. Trikate. Sounds like another triathlete here. Tons of triathletes on Rouvy. And you know what? I consider myself to be a cyclist, but I consider triathletes to be the best athletes in the world. Like for what they are capable of doing, combining all three sports. Yes, they're all cardio related, but different muscles. Just the amount of dedication and time and motivation and nutrition concerns you got to put into being a triathlete. It just boggles my mind. Yeah, so we got Trikate. We have KSS, KSS with riding with Arvanek 66. Just up ahead, we got Scotty 63 riding a little bit of solo stuff here for now. Okay, this must be another Czech rider with this name, Vitek Jed Vitek. Just gonna go with maybe it's Vitek. Procyon, who I've mentioned before. We got Christoph Dudekowitz. Okay, I'm still trying, man. And Dirk Driesen. Nice group of four here. There must be some really nice draft going here. Razor Bikes is in there. Harold Kammerhuber. Yes. Okay, I like that. And again, here's our T friend, who I think was from the Amstel Gold race. Almost positive. I remember that was the race I jumped into late. For some reason, I thought it started at 11:30 my time. Started at 11. Missed the first 22 minutes of the race. But I think there was 3 or 4 old gits in it. Alex from Team GRC was in it as well. Lots of members. And I think that's the one with the Amstel Gold Race. Because I saw a hill at the end, and I know the Amstel Gold Race is super famous. Been going forever. But I'm not good with the hills at those races. And I think it was the Cauberg was the last hill that was kind of smashing everyone to pieces. Cauberg, I think that's spelled Cauberg. Pretty sure. We've got Philippe here, moving up. Jindra is with Ricky B, and Peter and Roman Corner. These four have been riding together for quite a while now. Bouncing up, we got Biker Millie doing a little bit of a solo effort, just pulled away from the four behind. Then we've got Laurent Widley. Haven't seen this rider yet. Bird Killer, Spock, live long and prosper. I love it. Check out his avatar. Yes, I notice these things. So we got Bird Killer. Let me just try to say your last name. Muskelspin. All I know, you're Spock to me. We have Spock on board. Good to see you out there doing a great job here. Looks like a nice strong group. Everyone's pushing, okay, Laurent's taking a little bit of a breather here at the back, but these three riders are all like 3.5, 4 watt per kilo riders. Bouncing up to Plomanic, who just from the jersey is a Czech rider. And we also have Carol 86 here. And another Czech rider is Tonda. Yes, Tonda. Okay, strong rider. We're going to move up again. Okay, so just 300 meters ahead of that group, we got Vasco. Yeah, remember, this is it. We have 3 groups of 3 in the top 9. So we got Beppe, Heinrich, and Vasco here all together. Check out Vasco, Heinrich, and Beppe. Kind of newer riders, level 20s. Hey, great to see people coming on board. If you see the video, drop a comment. How did you come here? Where did you come from? Did you finally break the Zwift addiction? Did you find a new home after RGT? I know there's a ton of other systems out there, and they've all got their pluses and minuses, don't get me wrong. But I think for like video, number of routes, racing, Rouvy's the place to be. So that's it. That's my statement. It's good as gold. Okay, we're back with the front 3 here. Sorry, stumbling over my words. I'm just waiting for my door to be kicked in by my one daughter to come talk to me. So if you hear any crazy noise here, that's all it is. 3 riders at front working really well together here. Keith's doing great. I'm trying to see if there's a bit of a fault. Yeah, it looks like there's a false flat at the end here when I'm looking at my screen. If you look at the profile way, way, way on the right side, you tell me, is that climbing? I'm going to say it is. I'm not saying it's much, but I think Keith will be able to push 6-7 watts per kilo up that false flat and maybe get away from these 2. Now let's have another quick look here. Now we know Keith's a lightweight. Peter here, is just a tiny bit heavier than Keith. So I would say lightweight. If you're lighter than me, you're lightweight. And Pavel here, I think Pavel's the biggest cyclist here. Pavel might be more in that, should we say 80? 80, yeah, Pavel might be more like 80 to 85 kilograms. Sorry, folks, my math brain's not working that great today. I probably got too much going on in my brain right now. Messages coming in out of the yin-yang. Hey, so yeah, I want to say something here too. If you look at the YouTube channel, you can see we got a new banner across the top. It looks fantastic. One of the dudes, one of my buddies here in Team GRC, Anthony, created that for me, so he gets all credit for that. The original logo, I think Hardy did for GRC way back when, a couple months back, way back when, right? Maybe 2-3 months ago, we said, hey, we need a proper logo for our team because we didn't really have one at that point. So Hardy went and threw one together for us, which was fantastic. Hardy's super regular in the Discord and GRC. And then I think Anthony Actually, at this point, it seems like Anthony's been around forever too. That's the beauty of the Discord. You're going to talk to these same people like every day of the week almost, because they're thinking the same things you are. Now, what's going on here? It looks like Pavel's trying to put a little bit of a push at the front. Peter's actually just falling off the back a little bit. Now, this could have something to do with the fact that Peter is not on the ideal bike at this moment. Not on the fastest bike, not on the most aero bike. And that could be to numerous reasons. Just clickety-clickety, as I like to call it. You forget, you change something, and you're back to a default bike. When the other two could very well likely have faster bikes. Keith moving to the front again. Keith's easily capable of pushing 6 watts per kilo. So yeah, this is where Peter needs to be careful. But, he is in the draft, so obviously he knows what he's doing. And a ton of good cyclists from, I think I was talking to someone too about Czech Republic, and I've looked at a lot of cool courses there. It's just like so many good riders from that part of the world now, from Slovenia, Czech Republic. They don't have the big mountains, but it's just up and down everywhere. Like there's no flats there. It's up and down and up and down and up and down, over and over and over. They don't have the 10, 12, 14,000 foot mountains like we do here. But guess what? There's no roads going up there anyways. We have so few roads here. We need more routes filmed out there. There's a lot of good climbs around here. Like the one I want to get after is Mount Revelstoke. Longest paved road climb in Canada, 25 kilometers long at 5%. So it's a pretty good climb. And it's beautifully paved too. Not much to worry about except the occasional bear that might wake up and come maul you, but don't worry about it. Walk it off. It's okay. Instead of carrying 2 bottles, you're going to carry a bottle of water and a bottle of bear spray. That's the only way I could see doing it. We also have another one. It's in the Okanagan Valley. So in Canada, the Okanagan Valley is on the west side. It's in British Columbia. The Okanagan Valley, it's where they grow all the fruit and all the grapes in Canada. Okay, not all the grapes, because we do grow grapes in southern Ontario as well. But there's tons of vineyards in the Okanagan. I'm sure some of the wine nuts on here have experienced Okanagan wine. I drink any wine. I'm not really too picky about it. Okay, look, we got action breaking out here. Peter's hanging on, but Pavel's been forced off the back here by the pressure that Keith's putting on them. Let's have a look. You can see the break here. Yeah, I'm talking about Okanagan wines and drinking cheap $7 bottles of wine. And Pavel's, I'm missing all the action here. Okay, so Peter's getting back on. Peter's in the draft, but just hanging on for dear life right now. Just hanging on. Keith could easily crack him here. It's false flatty. If this could increase a little bit, Keith could crack him. Peter's doing an incredible job of hanging on here and clawing his way back at this point. I think Pavel's kind of blown up a little bit. Pavel was right in there with the 5-6 watts per kilo stuff. Now back to 4. Maybe just pushed a little bit too hard. Wasn't feeling that great today. You're not going to get the same ride every day. You're going to have some fantastic rides and some terrible rides. In fact, I stumbled into one this morning. Actually, you know what it was? It was the 90-kilometer version of Taupo. These are all Ironman courses. I did it way back when. Pulled the pin halfway. And all I can see now is that little yellow line that only goes halfway across the bottom of the profile. And it's really irritating me now. It means I need to go do it. So when I start doing some of my longer rides, when I come back, maybe I'll throw the Taupo one in there to get 90K and then throw another 50 or 60K on top of that to get to some of the next steps I want to make it to. So 3 became 2 at the front. And if you take a look at the map here, kind of a lonely ride for Pavel now. And wow, like these 3 at the front really put the hammer down, because for the longest time, the second group of 3, who are all still together, you can see on the map. These 3. Let's just go back to camera. These 3 here are all still together. Okay, you can just... is it Beppe? Yeah, that's Beppe. He was just hidden for a second. These 3 were only 300 meters back. Look at the distance now. This is like some serious riding on the front. So I was going to say, hopefully Pavel can team up with these three, but I don't know if they'll see each other anymore with 1.2 kilometers between them. So these three are riding really nice together. A lot of 3.4, 3 watt per kilo stuff, 3.8. Nice strong riding here. We're going to bounce back. Ooh, this is interesting. The next group back is only 140 meters back from the three ahead of them. We could have 6 riders join up here pretty quick. We got Carol 66 maybe. And look at this, folks, on the screen right now. You can see the riders ahead. We can see Vasco Bruno just ahead. This must be so motivating. These riders are going to see this too. They're going to see those name avatars popping up, thinking, we got them. Tonda's here. 3.5, 4 watt per kilo riders all throughout here. And Plemanik. Plemanik just drifting a little bit here. Be careful here. Out of the draft now. So Carol and Tonda are together. Plemanik's just off the back, but just getting back into the draft now too. Okay, Plemanik's safe. I betcha there was a tiny little bit of panic there. And Plemanik had to react to get back on. So these three are back together. Hopefully going to bridge up to the three ahead of us. Dogs are going nuts. Yeah, I think one of my daughters is here. We have a lot of little dogs in the house, and they like to bark all the time. Yeah, this is funny again. We bounce back again. We got 3 more. Bird Killer, Laurent, and Whitley. All riding together here. 3 watts per kilo. Yep, all 3 watts per kilo here. Let's have a little look back, see if... So these are all riders that have left. Giant rider. Yes, Giant. I love seeing people like this. All by themselves, no one to rely on, no motivation outside of the fact that they're telling themselves, I got to keep going, I got to keep going, I got to keep going. Giant's doing it. Great job. We're going to bounce up. We got Q here. We got Cycling Cigarist. Susil 23. Oh, yeah, these dogs are going ballistic. Marita 1901. I'm just going to quickly bounce up through the groups. Dirk disconnected. It's too bad. Let's get back to our friend over at Century 21. I'm assuming you're a realtor. Maybe it's just a pure coincidence that's your name, but good to see you here. We've got McGill from Czech Republic here. Yurka, Jay Ennis, Road to Kona. Okay, I think I've seen everyone's names now. I go through this a lot where I follow these races, and there's names I never say out loud, and I apologize if I don't see you, but sometimes it's just how it happens. We're going to keep bouncing up here. Razor Bikes. Gerald Hammerkuber. Sorry. Kammerhuber. I said that word backward. Here's the person I wanted to call Tretchak at the Amstel Gold Race. Riding with Philippe. Got these 3 riders here all together. They're looking sharp. I can hear dogs running around the back door here. We've got another. Okay, yeah, this is Peter. Yeah, very good. Roman Corner. Let's bounce back to the front here and see what's going to happen here. So Keith's only got one other rider to contend with right now. I don't know Peter at all. Let's see Keith's bike here. I keep wanting to say that Keith's on the Cervelo, but is he? It kind of looks like it to me. I'm looking to see the handlebars is what I'm looking to see. On the S5 it has that split in the handlebars. They kind of have like a little... No, he's not. He's on something different. Not sure which bike it is. And I was going to say that too because it takes quite a while to get 50,000 gold. And for all you newcomers to Rouvy, I feel a little bad, but not bad. When people say that, right? Feel bad, but not bad. When they introduced the gold coin aspect to Rouvy, they just threw a ton of gold coins at it. So it must have had something to do with the levels that we'd already earned. We didn't have gold coins, but basically we'd earned them. So I think when the gold coin started, like listen to this, I think I had like 180 something thousand gold coins. Like think about that. And now I know how valuable those gold coins are because I'm just getting to 50,000 again. But Rouvy's been pretty generous to us too. If you look at the app and look at your weekly goals, and I'm just going to say this out loud because some people aren't aware of this yet. If you look at your, click on your logo, your profile, your avatar, whatever you want to call it, and scroll down to weekly goals, you'll see there that there's 3 weekly goals set up for you. One is climb 1,000 meters. I think one is ride 100 kilometers, and the other one is do 2 workouts. And for each one of those, you're going to be rewarded with 1,500 gold coins. 4,500 gold coins right there. So it's really not that hard to do. And so those are bonus, remember, as well. So now, very generous for the workouts, because you could do 2 half-hour workouts and get 1,500 gold coins, which is a lot. You're also going to get gold coins by just doing the other random rides. Like, okay, here's an example. If this ride today got you to your 100 kilometers, you would receive 1,500 gold coins and the gold coins you would normally get for this ride. So Rouvy's made it easier now to make gold coins. Okay, we're flying a 180 here. So a little bit of an out and back. Obviously, we're not going back all the way. So, yep, we've got Keith at the front. We've got Peter. Pavel's going to just have a solo ride all the way now. There's no way that the riders behind Tonda, Heinrich, and Carol will be able to catch up. And take a look here. Take a look here. Everyone is coming back together. So, Heinrich, Tonda, Vasco, and Carol 66 are together. Beppe 22 is just bridging across. Wow. Then we jump back a little bit more, and we got Plemanik, Berg Killer, and trust me, I'm not saying Bird Killer, I'm saying Berg, B-E-R-G, like as in a burger. We got Berg Killer here, Whitley. I think I need a map view. This is getting confusing to me now. So we have 2 riders at the front, 1 rider solo, and then 9 riders. We got 5 together with 4 more trying to come up from behind. I guess they're about 500 meters back, this group, so they're probably not going to make it. Someone didn't make that bridge, and take a look here. You can see the turnaround point on the edge of the map here, and the riders coming the opposite direction. Again, when you go on here, you won't see the riders going by if you put the camera on. The only time you ever see that is in a crit race where there's actually laps, where it's been made as laps. Hey riders, back again. A little bit of commotion here at home. Nothing, no big deal. Just had to get outside to the front door there. We're back. Let's see what's happened here. What have I missed? So we've still got our 2 riders, Peter and Keith, at the front. With Pavel still riding solo. Bouncing back, we got Karel, Vasco, Beppe, Tonda, Heinrich, all together. 5 riders here. Take a look at this, folks. Got these 5 here all together. Bouncing back 638 meters to Whitley, Laurent, and Plemanik with Berg Killer. But I really want to keep an eye on the front here. These 2 riders are just going head to head. I saw some big pushes there before too. And yeah, again, I apologize. I had to just stop my recording there a bit so I could go outside. I just didn't want to leave the video recording and come back and have my entire capture card filled up. But yeah, Keith pushing nice and hard here. But Peter's able to hang there with him. I think okay, so yeah, we are getting to that little bit of uphill section. Still flat now, but I'm just looking at that profile on the very, very right-hand side of the screen, and I see a little bit of false flat coming up. This may allow Keith some opportunities to try to crack Peter once and for all here. Peter's looking good, though. I do want to pop back and see if Giant Rider's... Yeah, Giant Rider's still hanging in there. Great job. And these are riders that are broken down back here. Yep, sometimes I like to look sometimes to see if there's anyone still out there. Susel doing a great job here. And the good thing here is everyone's got themselves in little groups, or close to little groups. Certain riders are completely solo. But, you know, it's a couple hundred meters in between them all, right? I keep landing on Century 21 for some reason. Maybe I need to go work for Century 21. Just coming back up to the field here. Okay. Peter's pushing hard out front, putting Keith under pressure here, folks. Peter is absolutely smashing himself into oblivion, actually up the false flat. Okay, so this may come back to Keith now. Take a look at this. Now, I'll have to take a look here quickly and see, was it Peter or Pavel who I thought was a bigger rider? Actually, it's Peter that's the bigger rider. So Pavel was the smaller lightweight rider. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Sorry, folks. Can't do the math quick enough for now. Keith's got back on. Keith's in the draft and coming up right on Peter's shoulder, sitting right beside him now. He's going to let off now. I always like this point in the race. I've been in a few of these myself where you counterattack, you pull up beside the person, and you just kind of like chill out together for a little while because you're both probably pretty exhausted. A little quick something there with Keith. I'm glad that didn't affect the race here. Okay. Peter? Peter's about a 70 kilogram rider, so maybe slightly heavier than Keith. Okay, so we got a bit of a downhill here. I think Keith needs to try to escape on this downhill and try to get away on the false flat. That's all I can think of here. The good thing is, both these riders are so close in size. I mean, it's not like one's a 60 kilogram rider and one's a 95. That one's going to have such a huge sprint and just destroy the other one. I think this is going to be very close. Okay, there's some pressure being applied now. Peter's trying at 7 watts a kilo. Keith's having to react. He's pushing out to 8 watts a kilo here. Staying in the draft. Great job. Pretty tactical riding here by Keith. Peter's doing all the work up front. Now Keith's giving it a good dig. He's getting right on him. Wants to get to about 4 meters back. That's the ideal place for drafting. We're going to be going downhill again too, folks. And we're down to less than half a kilometer. I just noticed that. Sometimes I kind of forget that the race is about to end. Both riding in excess of 6 watts per kilo. Actually, Peter's starting to be able to pull away from Keith here just a tiny bit. Keith's got momentum now on his side. Keith's got the momentum. Keith's dropping 7.5 watts per kilo. Just blows past Peter. Can Peter react to this? I don't think Peter's going to react to this. Peter's just settled into 3 watts per kilo. Keith coming in. Fantastic finish, Keith. You the man. Great job by Peter there too to help Keith get away for that win. So that's a great 1-2 win for those two. Pavel riding by themselves. Been a long, lonely day for Pavel. Just couldn't hang with those two at the right time. But Pavel easily secures 3rd place on the podium. Great job. I'm gonna watch a couple of sprints here. Again, folks, I apologize. This video is going to be all over the place today. I've got so much stuff going on around here today that what I'm going to do is watch a few of these sprints. I think today, I see Plemanic's name there. We're probably going to hang around to Plemanik, and then I got to jump off. And I've got to do some editing to this thing now, which always takes time, but that's why we do this. Okay, so we got Karel here with Heinrich and Tonda, Vasco, and Beppe. We're going to have 5 riders lining up for the sprint here. Currently 1.6 kilometers away. That's about a mile. See who's got what left in the tank here. And then it's not that. Then we're 600 meters back to the next 4 riders. So I think that's where we're going to call it after that. Okay, we got an attack here. Tonda is attacking at the moment, dropping 6 watts per kilo, catching the others sleeping. Caught them sleeping, easily bridged out 14 meters on them. Heinrich is winding it up, pursuing Tonda at the moment. Carroll might be letting them go. That leaves Vasco Bruno out in the cold because there's a gap now. There's a gap been formed, and now they're all going to have to try to bridge across. Beppe's considering it. Let's get back to Tonda here. Okay, we've got, Tonda's in the front. Beppe, Heinrich. Okay, so there's some gaps being made here. 4th place is Tonda. We're 53 meters back to Beppe. With less than 800 meters to go. Tonda attacked at the perfect moment there. Probably a little bit further out than what they were expecting. So we're at 750 now. This has been going on for a little bit. Ooh, look at this coming up here. Carroll coming up strong. Probably a little bit of draft effect there, too. Tonda probably attacked at a kilometer out, and most people wouldn't be expecting that attack. Can he hold them off now? So now it's 4 against 1. The one who stood up to the 4. Tonda pushing hard ahead. Tonda's probably around an 80 kilogram rider, pushing 270 watts, 300 watts. Realizing they've only got a 60-meter gap on 4 riders coming in fast behind them. But we can see the banners up in the distance. I can see them now. 250 meters out. Tonda will secure 4th place. I'm going to stick with Tonda as long as I can. So Tonda's going to have 4th. You can see him up ahead. Here comes, we're going to go to Heinrich here to get the best view here as to what's going on. Heinrich dropping 10 watts a kilo. Heinrich is trying to rocket up right through the middle of these 4. Beppe. So we had Tonda, Beppe, Heinrich squeak past the other 2 riders that were there. Nice finish. Hey, we've got another group of 3 coming in right now. Guess what? We're hanging out for this. This is the Plemanik group. We've got Plemanik pushing hard, trying to get away from everyone here. Has bridged out 20 meters on Laurent, and then we go back to Bergkiller at 40 meters and Widley at 50 meters back. Now, looks like Plemanik is riding really strong here. Should be going for 9th place. Laurent, can they bridge back that 20 meters? It's going to be very tight. We're down to 200 meters to go on the course. Laurent really pushing up. We're down to 14 meters here. Has Plemanik ran out of gas? Laurent pushing 7.5 watts per kilo, and he's going to catch Plemanik right at the line. Laurent comes around, takes 9th place from Plemanik. Plemanik gets 10th. Widley will be coming in 11th, with Bergkiller in 12th. Wow, what a finish, folks. What a finish. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it's that day for me. I got lots to do here, folks. Appreciate everyone watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe, support the channel. It's only going to keep growing if we do that. It gives me an idea what you people like to see, too, when you let me know what you want to see. So comment down below. Got to jump. See you again real soon.